Hey YouTube, Kamen Rider here. Welcome to my review for Kamen Rider Revice episode 19. Another good episode. 4 out of 5. So until next time, before I comment, I'm just kidding. But this was a good episode that primarily focused on demons. We got that cliffhanger last week with Demons finding out that his driver's basically damaging him, and he's like, that's not true. It's impossible. But we don't even find out the full extent of it, but it starts to play into a larger focus on him in this episode. Because you have other stuff going on too. You have like all the machinations going on at Phoenix with the Demons driver and like the behind the scenes stuff and the behind the scenes reason and what their goals are and whatnot. But we focus a little bit more on Demons and his friend who was like undercover with Ortega. They're visiting the grave of the commander guy that got replaced by the shapeshifter. And they're talking about their past with him and their goals and stuff. And then this other guy shows up and he's like, no, Changnesia, you don't understand. Demons is actually the worst. Because he didn't realize the commander was a replacement and he failed him. He has failed the city. All that type of stuff. And that plays into the general story of this episode surrounding him when we find out she's actually the bad guy. She manipulates those two into fighting because it turns out she's a triple agent because she like went undercover but then she turned. And they even have like a showdown like, I'm not going down for this, I do declare. That's basically what happened in the episode, is it kind of fleshes out a little bit of his backstory in regards to his relationship with these characters while also having her manipulate them. And we also get to find out some backstory on why he wanted to become a Kamen Rider, because when Iki and Daiji are confronting him and talking about like, you know, you can't be risking your life like this, he talks about his motivation for wanting to become a Kamen Rider. He talked about how he always wanted to be a hero and he had to push himself, and we get into a little backstory with the commander guy who got replaced and him pushing him, talking about heroes overcoming struggles. And so that was nice, because I feel like we haven't gotten a lot from Demons. Like, I've liked Demons, but he's kind of been in the background as the Igarashi siblings continue to debut their new rider forms and all that stuff. So he's kind of been in the background. So it was nice that not only is the storyline focusing on him with this whole mystery around the Demons driver and whatnot, but also we get a little bit of insight into him as a character. And Ortega is still creating monsters that basically kill the human host to make the demon, and we get a fight at the end when Demon shows up. He's just about to pull out the driver to help Iki, and then the driver starts talking to him. He's like, holy crap, I didn't know there was an Alexa in here. And so it just kind of furthers the mystery behind it, and that makes sense too. It makes sense because everybody else's device has some sort of demon attachment to it, or demon aspect, and this one hasn't as of yet, and now it does. And I like the way they played it in this episode. We didn't get answers right away. It's still like an ongoing mystery. It wasn't like a one and done, like, let's do a demons focused episode and then move on. Like, they furthered it throughout this episode while keeping it going, which I really liked, and it was a good place to end the episode on, kind of a nice cliffhanger. I also forgot to mention that Julio comes and visits his sister and tells her he wants her to do something, and she goes to talk to Aguilera about, you know, coming back to the side of good and becoming a human again. And she's like, you just have to hear me out. He's like, no, I don't. I'm a Toku character. That means I have to fight you irrationally instead of just hearing you and walking away. So they have a little bit of a skirmish, but she's still not interested in it. But I get a feeling that Aguilera will probably come around. Like, there'll be a couple different options. She'll either come around and kind of be on the good side, or she will want to and then get blown up, and then it'll be all sad. Or she'll want to and then get blown up before she can turn good, but then she'll come back, either as like evil or good. They could do like a Stacy thing and just drag this whole thing out. But I get a feeling that's the way it's going to go. I definitely didn't expect to have these sort of more gray area villain characters so early on with both her and Julio, just in terms of like people seeing their humanity. But I just get the feeling, given her and the sister's connection back even during her arc, that that's going to pay off in some way with a sort of mini redemption arc or something, but we'll have to see. But it was overall a very strong episode. Like I said, I really liked the focus on Demons. I thought it was nice to put the spotlight on him since he's been kind of in the background, and I liked that it wasn't just a one and done, because sometimes they do that where they're like, okay, we're going to focus on this one character for this episode, but then it's back to your regular scheduled program. Like, it's an ongoing storyline that plays into other things. And two other nice things to note, you haven't disappointed me going past that little mini finale feeling. I talked about that episode a while back when they destroyed the base, how it felt like a mini finale, and it kind of fit into the way Rider kind of sections itself off into these little mini chapters, and how certain shows after they did the first finale kind of disappointed me, but this one so far has still been good. And also, unless I just completely forgot about something, this was the first episode in a while we haven't debuted anything new, so that was nice. So overall, a really good episode. What did you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can catch my videos. Kamen Rider, signing out.